What do we have at the foundation of the reading? The Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy in reverse at the foundation of the reading. Okay, there's a growing effort right now inside the collective of people that are trying to get individuals like all of you to second guess yourself, to think that what you are focused on and what you are moving towards is not in alignment with your highest self. Now, I feel that the reason this is taking place is because something has shifted. It's as if you are starting to see individuals' appearance being shaped by the spirit they house within. It's to say that if there's an individual that has some sort of entity attachment on them, it's starting to show in their physical appearance. And the way that these individuals are reacting to this is trying to get you to stop what you're doing, whatever that may be. Now, I feel that a lot of you are very focused on your path. You have a clear set of directions that you have gotten from Source and Spirit. Whether you are aware of that or not, in this very moment, the intuitive guidance is sitting there waiting for you to accept. Now, what does this mean? Well, this means that you don't have to wait for Spirit, Source, the Divine, God, whoever you look to for your supreme being, to show up and assist you. The assistance is already here. It's just a matter of parting the weeds inside your everyday waking life in order to see it. It's to say that there's so much distraction around you that you just need to become focused enough to see that the assistance is already here. Now, I feel that these other energies, these other entities with this Magician card are trying to get you to focus on everything other than your talents, your blessings, and your abilities that were God-given. There's a force here that is trying to scatter your energy and get you to waste your time and or resources on everything other than what you should be focusing on. What do we have at the sacral, please? Queen of Wands, fire energy in reverse at the sacral. Now, this is following everything we're saying precisely, because the Queen of Wands, as an upright, is going to be an energy of self-mastery. It's one of the most confident energies that you can pull in the tarot. But when it's in reverse, it's like these energies are trying to bring out the worst parts of you so you're not able to focus on your mission. Now, the Queen of Wands in reverse at the sacral is giving me blocked sacral energy. So this is giving me the impression that they're trying to utilize certain tactics to block out your sacral energy. Now, blocked sacral energy is an energy of fear. It's when you feel like your creativity is draining out of you. And this is happening for a lot of you environmentally. Okay, I just heard for some of you as well, there's something psychological going on here as well. You know, typically when this sort of message comes through in my readings, it could be some sort of limiting belief. And the limiting belief could be the direct result of some sort of situation you have been dealing with in regards to these energies. Now, I'm also getting some messages here that a lot of you may be dealing with certain energies around you that are trying to put too much responsibility on your plate so you're not able to actually focus on your mission, whatever it is that you are being guided to do at this time. If I was to really extract a simple message up until this point, it would be that there's a lot of distraction in and around your environment trying to get you to lose focus, trying to get you to lose sight. And I was getting a lot of messages the past couple of days leading up to this reading about people trying to push back against your spiritual beliefs. Now, there's also a message here in regards to social anxiety. So it could be that a lot of what you're all being called to focus on right now requires you to step out into the public eye in some capacity, or just integrate into environments that can assist in bringing this manifestation to full reality, however that may show up for you. And I'm also hearing something about faking it until you make it, right? So this is a very useful approach to take when you are trying to manifest something into your life, because you're essentially programming your mind and how you interface with your reality to ready itself for said manifestation. And this can be very useful because it could just be that that approach is what pulls through this particular thing into your everyday waking life. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords, Death card, and the Devil. Okay, so you're all being called to make some sort of decision here between some sort of toxic cycle that a lot of you have been in with these energies, I just heard again, it could be a mindset or a behavioral pattern. Okay. It doesn't always have to be a person or an environment. It could be something within you. Okay. So you're being called here to decide between this and some sort of looming transformation is what I'm hearing. The death card here is representing these big changes, right? So I mentioned that spirit is already here for you. It's just a matter of you overcoming the distractions in your everyday waking life in order to actually see this and or hear that guidance. And then the devil card is what is causing the distraction, however this shows up for you. And I'm getting a lot of interference inside my channeling right now. It just started to happen as I was preparing to pull the energy for that solar plexus region there. It's an energy that wants you to feel powerless, right? So that's going to be blocked solar plexus energy. It's like there's something tugging on all of your energy. I'm seeing two people going at it in a tug of war in my mind's eye. I just feel that that is really representing what it is I'm actually feeling. Okay, let's keep pushing forward. What do we have at the solar plexus, please, Spirit? Lovers. Wow. You know, if there was going to be one card that would represent that tug of war that I was seeing in my mind's eye, it would have to be the Lovers. Even the illustration. It's like, here's these two individuals, obviously, and then there's spirit in between. It's like these two forces, I feel, are representing the transformation and the devil energy. And that actually tracks perfectly because the feminine here is standing in front of the temptation, right? There's the serpent going up the tree. The apple tree is right there. Yeah, I just heard a lot of you feel like you're being pulled in two different directions. In one direction, you have the rest of your life, happiness. And in the other direction, which I feel is where a lot of you still are, is what you've always known. It's these particular cycles that you're being called to finally release yourself from. I just heard the dust has settled. Now, I feel that this is speaking about what's going on with the astrology, right? We just came out of this Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which was a really difficult transit for a lot of people. But now, as we are going direct, it's as if, again, the dust has settled. We can see things clearly now. And it's like we're waking up in this new world. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's all sunshine and daisies, right? In fact, I think it's quite the opposite. I feel like we're waking up to a deeper truth inside our reality. It's like we see things in a much clearer way now. And or we're just more accepting that things are the way they are. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card, Libra energy. So we have the scales there, right? So very similar to what I was getting with this Lovers card. It's like this push-pull, right? What do we have at the heart, please? The Fool, card 0. Wow. So there it is. Here is the new beginning. So it's very clear to me that you all go in the direction of your highest good and potential. There is no sense that you're going back to this old energy here, whatever that represents for you. You know, again, just to be clear, it could be individuals in your life, it could be environments, it could be something geographical and or mindsets, behavioral patterns, limiting beliefs and mindsets. There just seems to be an effort now to finally push forward, no matter how difficult that may be for all of you. I feel it in the energy now. It's starting to feel unstuck, right? This was a pretty challenging energy to navigate right here. But now, with this Fool card at the heart chakra, it feels as though something has been released. And the fact that we're getting the Fool card at the heart chakra is telling me that there's some sort of resentment and or bitterness that a lot of you are being guided to release at this time in regards to these situations. Simply put, it could be you holding on to some sort of resentment in regards to a situation that isn't doing you any favors. It's as if it's holding you back from some sort of new beginning in your life. But I feel that you see that clearly now, and I feel that you are ready to let go of whatever this may be. I think that you've gotten to the point where you understand that by holding on to this resentment and or bitterness, you're still giving this other energy power in some capacity, right? It's like they're taking up real estate inside your auric field, inside your mind, inside your emotional body, right? Yeah, very clear. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so you're moving away from something. Six of Swords, by definition, is also an energy of moving away from some sort of pain. And it's also an energy of your rite of passage, okay? And see how we have the ferryman here, there's you, and that child there, I quite often think about that as your inner child, right? It's like you're taking your inner child with you. So this could represent all the things inside of you that still needed healing and love, right? It's like you have finally done some sort of inner child healing and you're ready to move forward. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles right there. So perfect. So this is where you're going, okay? These are your divine blessings. This is your divine inheritance, okay? And this is what this is all about. So going back to the beginning of the reading, it's very much confirming that they're trying to keep you from something. They're trying to hold you back from something that by divine rights is all yours. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Page of Wands. Okay, so there's the new beginning. We have two cards that represent new beginnings here, okay? Now, the fact we're getting the Page of Wands is connecting me to this Queen of Wands, okay, at that sacral position. It's as if you are having to start something all over again, but in a new cycle, right? It feels like you were working on something or putting a lot of effort into something and not getting the results that you expected or deserved because of some sort of external force. So now you move away from this energy, whatever that means for you. You start fresh in a new cycle and you start all over again, right? It's like you start from step one, but this time you get the breakthrough. Now, this is just another way of saying that there was some negative influence around you that was affecting your forward momentum in regards to whatever this is here. Okay, I'm getting this analogy in regards to an individual who's creating this beautiful painting. It's like they have the image in their mind's eye. They know exactly what they're going to paint. So they start painting this image, but they're in this very toxic environment and it's having an impact on what is coming out. It's as if what is in their mind's eye isn't appearing on the canvas, right? Something far different is beginning to take shape because of the energetic environment. So this individual removes themselves from this space. They step into this new cycle and they say, you know what? Let's start that all over again. This time I'm going to nail it. And so they start to paint and all of a sudden it's coming out very clear, right? Everything that's in their mind's eye is now showing up perfectly on this canvas. That's exactly what I'm getting here for all of you, okay? What do we have at the third eye, please? Wow. Eight of Wands, Sag energy at the third eye. Okay, so now we're seeing a lot of movement. It's like all of that time you spent inside that cycle trying to bring some sort of vision to realization, you do in this new cycle in what seems to be an instant, right? The Eight of Wands is one of the fastest moving energies that we can pull here. And it's right there at the third eye position. So going back to what I said about the downloads and the intuitive guidance being here for you, right? But the noise being so chaotic that you either can't hear it or you just can't see the writing on the wall. There's just something there that is distracting you from hearing the voice of spirit, so to speak. But now all that distraction's gone. And look what's taking place. The Fool, Page of Wands, Eight of Wands. That cluster of cards right there speaks about fresh, new energy that is actually moving. Energy that is no longer restricted by something old and ancient. Okay, now that statement right there tells me that for a lot of you, you could be working through some sort of generational conditioning, right? Which can be directly connected to some sort of limiting beliefs. It's like something is passed down to you. Tells you that you'll never accomplish this, that, and the other, that you'll always be a so-and-so and blah, 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 right? But it's like you have managed to break free of the strongholds of whatever that may be for each one of you individually. I would say that almost 100% of the time, this generational conditioning, right, is going to also show up in our environments. It's like we attract exactly what needs healing inside of us. And we all know that this one is very true to life when it comes to relationships. And the reason why this happens is because it's the universe's not so subtle way of getting us to focus on all those things that need healing. So they bring more of it into our lives to help wake us up to it. It makes perfect sense when you think about it, right? In the moment, it seems absolutely ridiculous. Why would the universe want to do that to me? But when you start to work through this space, that's when you find yourself saying, wow, so genius. It was right there in front of my face the entire time, and I only just now see it. Generational curses, right? They're in the blood. When it comes to things like mental illness, people who are alcoholics, people who have this poverty mindset or these limiting beliefs, these are things that are all passed down. You'll find traces of them somewhere in the family lineage, and they just link their way to you. But a lot of you, especially in this time we're living in right now, have been assigned the task of breaking that. So there are no links to future generations. Now, for those of you who don't have children or don't have people that are following after you in some capacity here, you just become an influence, right? You become an example of how this is done, quite possibly in your communities or with people that you come in contact with. There's so many different ways that this can show up. So really just take it as it applies to you. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the crown. Now, this is very clear. This is following exactly what we're saying here. Eight of Wands followed by the Eight of Pentacles. So this is you now actually engaging in this particular part of your mission and or destiny. It's like you've had some sort of breakthrough here now, a breakthrough that you were never able to have inside this old cycle here. The Eight of Pentacles is you engaging in this space, right? It's like you're finally progressing forward. And there's this sense here where you have to pinch yourself. It almost feels unreal. Like, oh my God, I finally made it to this space. I'm finally doing it. This is actually coming to pass. They all told me I would never be able to pull this off. They all talked about me behind my back like I was crazy. They made me feel like I was an outcast, like there was something wrong with me. And now I know why. I feel that a lot of you have come from situations where everything that you have been trying to accomplish in your life, other people haven't even come close to being able to accomplish. And then here you come along, and it's almost like you have a free ride because the divine chose you, said you're the one that's going to do this. So what did they do? They got in your way. They made life more difficult for you. They overwhelmed you with responsibility. They littered your path with distractions. They took half your life away from you. But now, here you are. You finally made it through. It just took you waking up to who you really are and having enough confidence to believe in yourself and go out and get it. Look what you've had to go through to wind up right here. This is all you ever wanted. Look how peaceful this person is, right? Clearly enjoying what they're doing and good at it. I'm also hearing that this is you on stable ground now. It's as if something here can't be shaken because it's God-given. Source created you for this. It's in your DNA. It's like when the universe made you, they made you with this in mind. This is what they're going to be doing. Let's get into the second row. What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Ooh, card really popped out. There it is, Temperance, Sag energy at the foundation. So I read this card as Temperance in its negative polarity. So this is all the chaos. This is all the disruption that we've been picking up here. And it's right underneath that Magician. So they saw you manifesting something. They saw how capable you were of being able to bring this to your reality. So what did they do? They overwhelmed you with as much distraction and chaos as possible. This energy here went to the absolute extreme to create conflicts in your life as a means to affect your long-term vision for yourself. In your final days of dealing with this energy, I feel that it got overly excessive. It's almost as if something reached a fever pitch. This might have been your breaking point, and or it's about to be, right? Just really depends on where you are on this path. You're all going to be different, right? Some of you are already through this. Some of you are just starting out on this path. Some of you are in the middle. If you're just starting out on this path, this is showing you what your trajectory is going to be. And if you're already on the other side of this, it's validation. This is Spirit saying to you, hey, we see you. Good job. What do we have the sacred, please, Spirit? The Emperor Ball. He's been coming out quite a bit lately. Now, this particular card aligns with the Emperor in reverse. So I feel underneath this Queen of Wands in reverse is telling us that you finally pinpointed what it was that was always holding you back. It's like you lacked some sort of self-belief, and it was all a byproduct of this energy. Now, this could be a literal person in your life. It could be the mindset. But at its core, it feels, again, generational, right? It feels like that generational curse. It's just a sort of energy signature that runs through your family lineage. And like I mentioned, you attract and or magnetize all of these other energies towards you to further exploit that in your everyday waking life. And this is allowed by the universe to wake you up to what inside of you needs to be healed. There's something here that was affecting your stability in some capacity enough to where you finally snapped out of it, right? Like we mentioned. It feels like they doubled down, right? They went all in because they knew that something was about to, I just heard snap. Oh, snap. You were going to snap out of it, right? You know, I feel that this is just really speaking about you finally seeing somebody or something for who it really is, for who they really are, or if it's something for what it really is, and you can't deny it anymore. It's like you're ready to accept it. I also feel that this energy here was not working with you. It's like waking up every day with your worst enemy inside your environment. It's a very passive-aggressive kind of energy that I'm getting here, and it feels as though it became relentless. Yeah, I'm hearing something about individuals being petty. What do we have at the solar plexus? Page of Wands. Okay, we have that twice now, but these are read differently. This Page of Wands here is further emphasizing what we're picking up here, because this is an energy that's very negative. It's also an energy that pushes back against ideas that you have. So let's say you're discussing something that you're manifesting, or you're talking about something you want to do. This is the kind of energy that will put a negative spin on everything that you come up with, right? And for a lot of you, you may have just agreed or dealt with this until you, again, right, I just saw the writing on the wall, right? That it had nothing to do with the fact that you couldn't accomplish these things. It had to do with these individuals having to see you succeed in a space that they weren't going to succeed in themselves. You know, when it comes to generational curses, other people in your family will not support you working through those spaces because typically speaking, they feel slighted. It's like, oh, who do they think they are? What makes them so special that they think they can just come along and fix all the problems in the family, right? Something like this. Who do they think they are, right? In their eyes, it undermines their entire reality. You come along and you're trying to clean up something that nobody else took the time to clean up. Nine of Cups, Pisces energy at the heart. You know, you'd think that they would thank you, right? That's just not how it goes. That's one of the hard truths that you all have to come to accept when you're called to go down a path like this. It's lonely. Nobody will support you, but this was always a part of the plan because you were strong enough to handle it. But once you set out on this path, you realize that there's no other way. It has to be just like this. This is when you also open up a certain kind of depth to your connection to source that feels like something out of scripture. Start to align yourself with some of those archetypes. It starts to all kind of come together. It makes sense. You see yourself in all those stories that have been passed down through the ages. You see how they're all a kind of roadmap to dealing with situations just like this. The Nine of Cups, right underneath this Fool card, is further emphasizing what I was saying in regards to these people feeling slighted by what you're doing here. You know, this is an energy of feeling entitled. They feel that they're entitled to what it is you're accomplishing, and because it's not them, they cannot and will not support it. So they'll go as far as destroying you so you're not able to accomplish it. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles again, okay? Perfect. It says right there, intellectual talent. And I just heard, this is who you are. This is what you came here to do. And you need to seriously think about removing yourself from any environments where anybody is trying to take that away from you. If you find yourself in situations where you're being made to feel like it's a choice between this and their treatment of you, it's time to take a step back and think clearly about what's most important to you. Your happiness or their misery, because this is what this all comes down to. They know that they can't be a part of your happiness. They relinquished that position a long time ago. So they'll do everything they can to make you live in their misery. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Queen of Wands, fire energy underneath the Page of Wands at the throat. Okay, so we have a lot of doubles here. We have Page of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, okay? And what's interesting about this is the Page of Wands here, we have the negative side, the positive side, or sorry, the negative side, the positive side. And then the Queen of Wands here, we have the negative side and the positive side. So what we're seeing here is a complete turnaround. You went from this Queen of Wands in reverse energy to now in the Queen of Wands upright energy. And you're also heavily protected. Divine power guards against mental troubles. So I feel that that is really speaking about how they may have been impacting your mental faculties in regards to this situation. So usually these situations are going to be layered attacks. They'll go after your mental faculties, they'll go after you spiritually, etc., okay? They'll try and hit you in all these different sectors of your life, so you feel checkmated, so to speak. But it says right there, the hidden God. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the reading about these downloads and messages, this guidance already being here for you, right? It's like God and or spirit has been hiding, right? Amongst all of this, observing, and you've become aware of this now. You're starting to see now that things were being arranged for you behind the scenes, so to speak, while all of this was taking place. It took just stepping back and looking at everything from a different perspective, starting to refocus on that vision, that happiness, that success, whatever it is for you. And now you've regained your sovereignty here. This is what this is all about. It's like these energies here wanted you dependent on them in some capacity. It's like you've overcome some sort of subordination in your life, and you're stepping into this new beginning with this fresh new energy, having released the energetic weight of this situation, whether it be mental, spiritual, environmental, person, place, thing, whatever it is. In some cases, a lot of cases really, it's going to be a little bit of all of those things because they all work in tandem to keep you restricted and stuck in place. You know, you could be dealing with a person who impacts you on a mental level. So then you start thinking a different way about yourself, which then in turn impacts you spiritually because you start losing faith. It's a trickle-down effect with the purpose of you ultimately losing yourself. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Wheel of Fortune, Sag energy at the third eye underneath the Eight of Wands. Okay, perfect. This energy right here is amazing, okay? Now we're seeing all this forward momentum. And right here on this Wheel of Fortune, it says, Metatron, the recording angel, advancement and progress, teaches, guides, and records events in the book of life, okay? So now the wheel is turning. And the Wheel of Fortune is an energy that represents life cycles. This is a huge turning point for you. And there's a lot of good karma, good fortune on the other side of this that you may not even be fully aware of. It's like you had to remove yourself from these spaces to even see what was waiting for you. The Eight of Wands above this Wheel of Fortune is telling us that you are moving as fast as you possibly can in this new cycle towards this Eight of Pentacles, right? So this is whatever it is, right? The manifestation, the vision. I'm also hearing that for some of you, you may be getting some sort of communication or some sort of news. It could even be downloads in regards to something that you have been working on here. Once you remove yourself from this space here, it's like all of a sudden everything just starts to move forward. And this is also another confirmation for you, because this is when you really start to see, hey, it was always them. It was always this. It was always that mindset. It was always that behavioral pattern, whatever it is, right? You start to see proof in the movement that you are now experiencing. There's absolutely no way to deny this as well when it happens. When you're not seeing movement in a certain space, you can't figure out why. And then you start looking at some of the energies in and around your life. So you start reorganizing those, so to speak, and or completely removing them, and boom, something just moves. You're like, wait, what? I stopped talking to so-and-so, or I moved on with my life, and now the wheel just starts to creak forward. It's like all of a sudden that Wheel of Fortune goes from being completely stuck at a standstill to creaking forward one revolution. And you're like, oh my God. So then you remove something else, and another revolution. All of a sudden you remove something else, and now it's moving. It's going slow, but it's moving until that wheel is spinning so fast, it feels like the past never existed, and you have always been in this reality where success is yours. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands. So whenever I see the Two of Wands from this deck, the illustration is showing us somebody holding their pulse, right? This is like you. And see how they have bags under their eyes? It's like they're kind of upset. They're looking back like, oh my God, am I even alive? How could you be so wicked? Why would you hold me from all of this, right? And it's like this is the realization that you're beginning to have as that wheel starts to creak forward and start to move, like I mentioned. Okay, Spirit, let's close this out, please. What do we have at the crown? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Incredible. Look at that. Magician. Upright. We opened with the Magician in reverse. We closed with the Magician upright. Absolutely incredible. So this has shown us that there's been a complete turnaround inside your energy on the other side of removing yourself from said energies, right? So this is crystal clear that when you remove these energies here from your life, whatever that is for you, you get the win, you get the breakthrough. The vision actually begins to materialize as your reality. You start to see that, oh, yeah, I did have the power of creation all along. I've always had this potential to make this happen. The only thing that was holding me back was these energies here. Nothing can stop me now from making this a reality. This is a deliberate transformation of your efforts into your actual reality. And I feel that it goes without saying, but when you start to experience the success of this situation here, and you look back on what you've had to navigate to get to this point, it changes the way you look at life. The way you interface with your reality will never be the same again. You look at energy different, and you look at generational curses much differently. You have a better understanding of what they actually are. But all in all, this is an incredible spread from beginning to end. Multiple confirmations. We're seeing a complete flip in the energy here. All these doubles as well, which when they come in different polarities, right? So reverse and upright, negative polarity, positive polarity. And again, with the Queen of Wands here, you couldn't ask for more confirmations because it just puts weight behind the whole message. So however this is showing up for all of you, I hope that you take the encouragement that you need from this reading to push forward, depending on where you are in accordance with this timeline here, and to go get this, because it is waiting for you. So don't hesitate any longer. This is what you came here for. This is literally why you're alive. So with that, I will leave it here. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Also, consider giving this reading a hype as it will help to get the video in the algorithm and push it out to other people who may need the reading. If you would like to join the membership section of my channel, you can click on the join button or find the link down below. I upload additional videos there each month. So go check it out. Those readings are quite potent because I pick up on a smaller collective of individuals. I'm also running a 15% off sale at PLUTOBEANstudio.com, where I have a number of items which are extensions of the creative output of my channel. You can see a lot of the items in the sidebar and also down below this video. So go check it out if you want to see some of the other things that I've been working on. I also still have some limited spots open for personal readings. You can find that information down below in the description. I also wanted to thank everybody who's been donating to my channel lately. Your donations help keep my channel going, so thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. But lastly, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So leave me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.